Hello, this is Cathy Cassidy and I'm here to read you chapter 26 of SUNDAE Girl. And if you were following along with the chapters last week, you'll know that things got so dramatic. So let's tune in for chapter 26, where we will find out what happens after all that high drama. So, the building is evacuated. The fire brigade are called, and once everything is declared safe again, the wedding is finally rescheduled for 1:30 p.m. The advantage of getting married on April Fool's Day is that few people are stupid enough to want to, so there are hardly any other bookings. Victoria borrows a marshmallow pink beehive wig from one of her bank clerk friends. Something borrowed, she says brightly. Don't think I'll bother with a veil this time. Her dad escorts her into the marriage room, with me following behind, leading Toto in a haze of pink net and ribbon. The piper is absent. He offered to take Mum back to the hotel when her increasingly frantic apologies were threatening to halt the wedding for a second time. You're the hero of the hour, he told her gently, politely leaving out the fact that she actually caused the blaze in the first place. Let me buy you a drink and calm your nerves. Oh, Mum faltered. Well, okay then. So Victoria floats into the marriage room to a tinny, seedy version of Love Me Tender, which sounds a whole lot better than the bagpipe one, and the wedding goes without a hitch. It's not a pretty ceremony like the church weddings I've seen on TV soap operas. It's kind of plain and ordinary and thankfully quick. And before I know it, the bespectacled registrar lifts up the heavy iron hammer at the foot of the anvil and lets it drop with an ear-splitting clang. He pronounces Dad and Victoria man and wife. They pose beside the anvil and a weird flashing erupts from the wall, which panics me briefly, but it's only a camera, not Mum with her pyromaniac lighter. It's done, all over, finally, without disaster. We straggle back along the street to the hotel, where the reception is now more than 2 hours overdue. Wasn't it lovely, people are saying, brushing confetti from their hair as we walk along. Something different, something special, a real day to remember. Well, it was that, all right. The pink Cadillac cruises past, tin cans, old boots, and what seems to be a slightly charred white net veil tied onto the back bumper. Back at the hotel, the manager swoops on Toto. I told the lady earlier, no dogs on the premises, he says grimly. We have health and safety rules, you know. Can't you make an exception just this once? Dad asks politely. This dog is an important guest at the wedding, and he's travelled a long way to be here today. He's very highly trained. Toto is sniffing the back of the manager's trousers. I can't help that, the man says primly, trying to step out of sniffing range. We cannot have dogs in the hotel. It's against all our rules. And your highly trained dog has already left a little message, shall we say, in room 201, behind the armchair. Oops, I say. So Toto is shut into the pink Cadillac. His ear-splitting yowls can be heard throughout the wedding meal and the yawn-making speeches. Everyone drinks a toast in pink champagne. Everyone except Victoria and me. We stick to lemonade. The wedding cake is a mountain of chocolate profiteroles with an Elvis action figure and a Barbie doll with a beehive and a mini dress perched on the lower slopes. Surprise, surprise, the band are Dad's old mates, the Fab Four, Andy on lead guitar, playing countless dismal songs from long, long ago. At least they drown out Toto's distant whines. Dad and Victoria circle the dance floor cheek to cheek. I can't help grinning. It came so close to being ruined, but everything has worked out in the end. They got their special day. Come on, Jude, Victoria shouts, waving at me from the dance floor. Please? I smile and shake my head, but Victoria swoops down on me, and I abandon any attempts at cool and join in. It's much later when I spot Mum at the bar alone, waving madly. I pick my way towards her. Mum, I shout above the pounding 60s music, is this a good idea, do you think, being here after what happened earlier? I've made a fool of myself, she says into her whiskey. I feel so stupid. I'm such an embarrassment. Well, yeah. The smell of burning bridal veil is still scarily fresh in my memory, so it must be in Mum's too. Everyone makes mistakes, I say kindly. Not everyone makes them with a dodgy lighter in their hand, of course, but I decide not to mention this. I'm going to change, Jude, she tells me. I'll give up drinking and smoking, I promise. Yeah, right, I say. Really, Jude, wake-up calls don't come any clearer than this one. Right now, I just need to get out of here, Mum says, and I notice for the first time that her pink hold-all and my overnight bag are leaning up against the bar. We have to go, Jude. What now? We'll miss the rest of the party. We'll miss the fireworks. I think we've had the fireworks already, Mum says ruefully. Look, let me explain to your dad and then we'll go. There's a flash of white satin at my side. Explain what, Rose? Dad asks. Mum looks stricken. Well, this afternoon, she says in a small voice. The accident. I behaved appallingly. Yes, Dad agrees, you did. Still, I guess we'll get over it. I won't, Mum declares, not ever. I've learned my lesson this time, Bobby. I'm so ashamed. I just want to get out of here, take Jude home. I should never have come in the first place. No, Dad agrees. It's all been a bit of a mess. If I just had some cash. Dad sighs, reaching into the pocket of his satin catsuit to bring out a wad of notes. Sorry, Jude, he says to me, it's probably for the best. They're not going to let Toto stay here another night, and you can see how upset your mum is. I'd feel better if I knew you were back home. Mum pockets the cash. I knew you'd understand, Bobby. There's a train soon after 6 if I can just get to Carlisle. I rang National Rail Inquiries earlier. I suppose we could get a taxi. Dad sighs. Vic hasn't been drinking, he says. I expect she'd drive you. Half an hour later, I'm standing on the platform at Carlisle station, waiting for the Birmingham train, wearing my school blazer over the pink mini dress and red boots. This is not a good look, but when I took my travel bag into the station loos a few minutes back to get changed, I discovered that Mum had cleverly dumped my school bag inside, but left my neatly folded pile of normal clothes back in the hotel room. Great. No problem, Dad says. We'll bring them down for you after the honeymoon. I know, but I'll be stuck like this for the whole journey. You look lovely, Victoria says, and I bite my tongue and try to smile. Mum, meanwhile, is still apologising for the burning veil disaster. Don't give it another thought, Rose, Victoria says. No harm done. No harm done? I can practically see small, fluffy wings sprouting up from Victoria's sequined shoulders, a halo hovering above her candy floss wig. Mum takes Victoria's hands like the two of them are new best friends. I should never have said the things I did, she says. I was angry and bitter and, well, drunk. I'm sorry. Sorry for all of it. I hope you and Bobby will be very happy. Rose, you don't know what that means to me, Victoria says, flinging her arms around Mum. I get hugged too, of course, and then Dad and Victoria grin and wave and wish us luck, and they walk away, back to their snazzy pink Cadillac, their party, the fireworks, the honeymoon. There's just something I need to check, Mum says the minute they're out of sight. She disappears into the ticket office, then emerges a minute later full of smiles, a cigarette dangling from her lip. Know what, she says between puffs. My life up to now has been one big disappointment. A career that flopped before it even got started. A series of no good men. Dad's not no good. Well, maybe he was just no good for me, Mum says. Life isn't like the movies, Jude. I wish it was. Is it so wrong to want romance, adventure, to want to see the world in glorious technicolor instead of boring black and white? Well, Jude, today was a nightmare, she says, taking a drag on the ciggy. For the first time ever, I saw myself the way others see me, a sad middle-aged woman with a drink problem, making a fool of herself in public. That's not who I want to be. I'm scared, Jude, scared that I've left it too late to have a life. Don't be silly, Mum, it's never too late. I knew you'd say that, Mum grins. I knew you'd understand. What better chance will we ever have to get away and make a fresh start, find our own yellow brick road, our own emerald city. She takes my hand, pulls me up the steps and over the footbridge. What are you doing, Mum? I protest. The Birmingham train goes from platform 1. Says so on the departures board. No, no, she says, we need platform 3. A small knot of panic forms in my belly. Mum? She runs down the stairs onto the opposite platform, dragging me and Toto in her wake. The station loudspeaker system crackles into life, telling me something I don't understand, don't want to understand, about the train now standing at platform 3. And then we're on the train, squishing onto a table seat, Toto settling himself down into the aisle with a huff. I look along the crowded carriage and spot the computerized information board above the door. This train is the 1822 for Glasgow Central, it tells me. This train shall call at Glasgow Central only. Mum turns to me. It's time we made our very own adventure, she says excitedly. You and me, Jude. The train slides noiselessly forward, gathering speed, but it's taking us further and further away from home. Mum, I argue, this is crazy. What about Gran and Grandad? What about them, Mum says. They think we're in Gretna for another night. They won't worry. But I want to go home. We will, Mum tells me, eventually. But we're going to see Gina first. Gina? The old friend I told you about, Mum says, laughing. The one who moved to Scotland. Mum, we can't. Well, this train doesn't stop again until Glasgow, Mum points out, so actually we can. Cheer up, Jude, it'll be fun. Gina's a great girl. You haven't seen her for years. Well, no, Mum admits, but she sent me a Christmas card with her new address. Mum scrabbles in the pink holdall and pulls out a crumpled card with a cartoon of Santa, drunk and snoring beneath the Christmas tree. She looks like a great laugh, I say sourly. No, no, look at the message, Mum insists. Don't you see? I look at the curly blue biro writing. Got a job as a barmaid at a great old pub in Glasgow, I read. The Wizard. You'd love it, Rose. See, Mum says, the Wizard, like in the Wizard of Oz. We can't ignore that, can we? It's an omen. I bite my lip. We're going to Glasgow to see a woman Mum knew slightly years ago, all because she works in a pub called the Wizard. It's an omen, all right. A bad one. It's just a stupid film, I say, and watch the smile slide from her face. A minute later, she's climbing over Toto, lurching her way down the carriage in search of the buffet bar and more of those dinky pop bottle-sized shots of wine. I fell for it again. I believed her shamefaced apologies, her promises to change, but none of it meant a thing. It's still April the 1st, I remember, and I am the biggest fool of all. So that was chapter 26 of SUNDAE Girl, and more drama for you to take in. Please tune in again tomorrow for another chapter and find out what happens next. Until then, please take care and stay safe. I will see you soon.